Hi, in today's lecture, what we'll be talking about is a very important issue, which is the Ukraine-Russia conflict. Now, we need to understand that why Russia is flexing its muscle, that does Russia wants to maintain its supremacy from the Black Sea to the Baltic Sea, why Russia has specifically chosen this point of time when the entire world is at the brink, and most importantly, what will be the future or what is the background of the Ukraine-Russia issue, and most importantly, from the paper point of view, that what is its implications on India. So I, Anuj Sharma, will be talking to you throughout this video about the Ukraine-Russia issue. So when we talk about the Ukraine-Russia issue, first we need to understand is the geography of Ukraine and Russia. Now, Ukraine and Russia are the neighboring countries. Russia, as you all know, is one of the largest country of the world, and Ukraine is one of the largest country of the Europe continent. So now Ukraine is or was the part of the Soviet Russia, or it was a kind of a vassal state or a satellite state of the Soviet Russia during the time of the Cold War, when there were two superpowers, one being the USA, which was the capitalist world, and one being the USSR, obviously, which was led by the Soviet Russia. Now, post the demise of USSR or post the end of the Cold War, the world has seen a continuous decline of the Russian power and a rise of the power of USA up till a certain point of time when the revisionist power by the name of China came in. So on one side, there in the world, USA is entangled with the conflict of China. India is entangled with the conflict of China. And why at this point of time Russia has started a new issue? Is it its aggression towards USA, or is it the Russia's chances to regain its Cold War glory? So let us discuss and see what is the primary conflict issue. Now, Russia has already in 2013-14 captured one of the very important point, that is the Crimean Peninsula. Now, this Crimean Peninsula was captured by Russia or was annexed by Russia in 2013-14, and this Crimean Peninsula was a very important part, and this Russia considers is that it is the only source of Russia or the only port of Russia for the all-year port or the all-year port of Russia in the Black Sea. So in 2014, Russia annexed this Crimean Peninsula and militarily annexed this Crimean Peninsula. And in this Crimean Peninsula, once a referendum was held in which 43% population of the Crimean Peninsula said that they want to stay with Russia. But this is not the majority of the population that wanted to stay with Russia. But post the annexation, a new referendum was held, and in which 97% of people, according to Russia, 97% of people said that they want to stay with Russia. Now, you all know, and we all know, that this 97% as per Russia would have been democratic or not, because the world does not consider or does not oblige by the referendum that was conducted by Russia. So on one side, Russia has captured this or annexed the Crimean Peninsula in 2014, and similarly, as of now, there is a war or there is a point of conflict between Russia and Ukraine, because as per the estimated figures, along the border of Ukraine, there are almost 90,000 troops of Russia, which Russia has set on the borders. Now, if we look at the map or at the position of Ukraine, so we can find out that Ukraine is divided itself into the western and the eastern part of Ukraine. Now, this western part of Ukraine is aligned or is in favor with the European side or the western side. Whereas when we talk about this eastern side, so this eastern side is a side of conflict which obviously is bordering Russia. Now, in this eastern side, this is the Crimean Peninsula which we were talking about. On this eastern side, there are the provinces of Lunsak and Donetsk. I'm sorry for my pronunciation, but Lunsak and Donetsk. Now, this Lunsak and Donetsk, these provinces or these areas are under the armed insurgency and they want to separate out and get entered into Russia. Now this side of Ukraine is the pro-Russian side because this area which is marked by red or which is colored red, this area has seen a lot of conflicts between or the clashes between the activists which are pro-Russia, which are against Russia, and the rebel groups which are pro-Russia. Now here there is the pro-Russian protests that have been taking place because the people from the Ukraine or this area want to say or suggest that they want to merge with Russia or they want to stay with Russia. And this region is basically controlled by Russia. So Ukraine is facing a lot of problems from the Russian side because the eastern part of Ukraine is divided into these regions which is either controlled by Russia or is facing the armed rebellion, or even there are protests that people who say that we do not want to go with the West but we want to stay with Russia. Now how did Ukraine reach to this point? What is the problem that Ukraine faced, that why Russia became so aggressive and why Ukraine is seeing the pro-Russian protests? Now when the Cold War ended, Russia and USA, they had an agreement in which it was said that the bordering areas of Russia or the countries surrounding Russia will not become or will not be forced by USA to become the part of NATO. But Ukraine has entered NATO and Russia got threatened that if the NATO forces are sitting in its border area, so it may be threatening for Russia. So then after that Russia annexed the Crimean Peninsula. So this is what Russia's point of view is. Russia says that what we are doing is a reaction and is not an action, because Russia says that we are being instigated by the West so that we are getting into the Ukrainian peninsula. But that is not an argument that the West buys, and that is not an argument that anyone else buys. So this is the problem that what presently is being faced in the Ukrainian peninsula and the Russia. Now the point is that what are the primary reasons that caused the conflict? One of the primary reasons that caused the conflict is that Russia wants to maintain its supremacy from the Baltic Sea to the Black Sea. Russia wants to maintain its supremacy from the Baltic Sea to the Black Sea and wants that the West should stay out of this region, as this region is the territory of Russia. Second understanding is that at this point of time, USA is weakened. Because USA is weakened on multiple perspectives. One is that USA has recently withdrawn its forces from Afghanistan. And USA is weakening on this side. So Russia says, or Russia wants, that this side should again come back to the side of Russia. This is a very important understanding, which is a topic of other video, which I'll discuss it someday and make a video is about the great game and the new great game, which I'll explain in some other video. Second thing is that on the one side, Russia, USA versus China, that USA is not looking towards Russia and not fighting Russia specifically, because during the Cold War there were two powers, that is USA and Russia. But now the time has changed. Now USA's major enemy or major threat for USA is not Russia, but it is China. So Russia thought that it is the right time to attack, or it is the right time to flex our muscles, because as of now USA is not looking towards us, or we are not the main target of USA. USA's main target is China. So USA has shifted its focus towards Indo-Pacific. USA has shifted its focus to the area where the China is flexing its muscles, not Russia. So Russia thought that it is the best time, and the world is still waiting for the action of USA or the reaction of USA, because USA has not significantly taken any action against the aggressive move of Russia recently against Ukraine. So the world is still waiting that what USA is going to do and how USA is going to react. So one reason is that USA is weakened, so Russia wants to get or take full advantage of this point at this point of time. Moreover, Russia says that the people of Ukraine want that the West or the NATO forces should stay out of Ukraine. As I showed you the map, where the eastern side of Ukraine states that they want to stay with Russia. Now Ukraine has faced the protests by the people. Now there is a famous Euromaidan movement that started in Ukraine in 2013. There is a famous Euromaidan movement that started in Britain, in Ukraine in 2013. Now this Euromaidan movement, we can relate it just with the kind of the Arab Spring. So Euromaidan movement was a movement that was started by the protesters in Ukraine against the then president Viktor Yanukovych. Against the president Viktor Yanukovych. Again, I'm sorry for the pronunciation. So this president was considered to be the pro-Russian president. Now this Euromaidan movement was started by the people of Ukraine against the corrupt practices or the despotic rule of the president Viktor Yanukovych. So ultimately in 2014, the new president came in and Russia annexed the Crimean Peninsula. Post the Russian annexation of the Crimean Peninsula and the new president coming in, Ukraine has started to again shift towards or tilt towards the western region. So Russia says that we are not the one who are being aggressive, but who is aggressive was the West, so we reacted. So these are the some causes of conflict. Now this 2013-2014 is a very important time from the relation or perspective of this region, because in 2014 for the first time Minsk agreement was signed. So for Minsk is the capital of Belarus, region in Belarus. So in 2014 Minsk I agreement was signed. Now in this agreement the Ukraine and the Russian backed rebels signed the agreement of ceasefire. But and in this Minsk agreement there were some provisions. The provisions were in this Minsk agreement, there were some provisions, and the provisions in this Minsk agreement were that there will be prisoners exchange. Moreover, in this there was that they will withdraw heavy weapons. But this agreement failed. This agreement failed from the both sides as the ceasefire was not accepted, and again there was violence. So ultimately in 2015 a new agreement was signed, that was Minsk II. Now Minsk II is very important because Minsk II was signed post the involvement or the mediation by two very important European countries, that is the France and Germany. Now this agreement was signed between Ukraine, Russia, post the mediation by France and Germany, and also the rebels in Ukraine, and also the organization by the name of Organization for Security and Cooperation in Europe. Organization for Security and Cooperation in Europe. Now this is your task, that post this video you will go and search about the Organization for Security and Cooperation in Europe. Now via this Minsk agreement, what was signed or what was discussed was that there should be the protection of human rights, then there shall be freedom of press, then there shall be arms control. So the agreement was signed so that there could be end to violence in the region of Ukraine, and the Europe could face some kind of peace. But again, this is still continuing, but it did not yield the result it's thought. Now we will come to what basically is the current situation and what can be exact India's stand. Now when Russia annexed Crimea, the world was expecting India to criticize, but India did not criticize or condemn Russia, because recent visit also shows, the recent visit of Putin also shows that still India and Russia are important for each other. India and Russia are important for each other. But the point is that on one side, what we witness is India's increasing relationship with the West, and on the other side, what we witness is Russia's increasing bonhomie with China and Pakistan. So now India has to maintain a balance between the Western world and the Russian world. So the dilemma for India throughout his post-independence history has been the balance between the Russian area and the Russian side and the Western side. So as of now, still India has to maintain the balance between the West and Russia, because India cannot go against the West, because India also has to counter the rising Chinese threat. And if India moves it back or goes completely against Russia, then Russia may completely ally with China, which is also a threat to India. So now it is in India's hand that how India maintain its balance between the West and the Russia. So that is it from our side. Please like the video, subscribe our channel, and we'll be coming with more exciting videos. Thank you and take care.